now from Geneva is Adrian Edwards. He's a spokesman with the UNHCR. Adrian, now Europe has had more than 200,000 people arrive since the start of this year. It's triple the number since 2011. Have you seen a record that high in the last few decades?
These are certainly the highest numbers we've seen. If you remember back in 2011, when you had the Libyan civil war, we had about 70,000 people cross the Mediterranean then. So what we're seeing very clearly, not just in Europe, but also elsewhere in the world, is that sea frontiers are becoming increasingly deadly and dangerous crossings for increasing numbers of people.
Now, you've received information that there's been more than 5,000 deaths this year. Border security, of course, is a big issue for many countries. What needs to be done to address this, to avoid that sort of death toll?
Well, right now, the protecting lives, saving lives, has to be the priority. All countries have to manage immigration policies. They have to manage border security. But what we're asking is that people look at the need to save lives too, so that human lives don't end up becoming collateral damage of immigration or border policies that really aren't working in their entirety.
And besides facing a fatal journey, I understand criminal gangs is the other big danger.
There are many elements to this problem. It's particularly complex. What we're asking is that people look at all levels of this, from the root causes, countries that are producing large refugee outflows, to countries along the way, what can be done there to help. In addition, we want to see that more is done at sea simply to prevent lives being lost. This year, a great deal has been done on the Mediterranean, but still, we've seen 3,400 people dying there. On other sea crossings in the Caribbean, Bahamas, in Southeast Asia, in the Horn of Africa region, we're also seeing people dying making these crossings. So focus has to be on looking at this problem in its entirety. It's a transnational problem. It needs transnational solutions.
And so what do you suggest? What should those solutions be? And should the focus be at the root of the problem, where I guess people are fleeing from, the countries people are fleeing from?
Well, clearly countries working alone aren't going to solve these problems. It's not just a problem of coastal states. Many of these journeys involve people traveling over multiple frontiers, over hundreds or thousands of kilometers. And you have to look at what can be done along the way to help matters. One, as I said, is what are the root causes of the problem? Can that be looked at in countries producing refugees, in countries of conflict? Two is what can be done along the way to provide opportunities for people to apply for visas, to look at ways of migrating or seeking asylum that can be safer. Three is to tackle these criminal networks involved in smuggling. And then we have to look in countries of arrival. It's very important that countries can distinguish those who are real refugees from those who are not.
Adrian Edwards, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.